Welcome to the Whiskey Novice. Hello and welcome back to the Whiskey Novice. Yes, it's great to be back with you once again. Great to have you here. It is review number 63 and the start of another new series. This is part one of a series I am taking to calling Oh for the Love of Peat. So you can guess where I'm going with that one. Yeah, I'm a fan of peated whiskies, peated malts. Peat can still be a bit of a divider. I have friends who love peated whiskey. I have those who loathe peated whiskey. And it's just one of those things that love, hate. You know, to me, it's just another flavour, really, another tasting note. But let's face it, there's a bit more to it than that. And first of all, in this series, it's going to be a 4-week series, and the first one I'm looking at is this one from another Campbelltown distillery and one of my favourite distilleries, Kilkerran, and this time the Kilkerran Heavily Peated Batch 2. And you have to be quite precise about the Batch 2. There are 3 batches of this now. Kilkerran are still a relatively small distillery and hopefully will remain so for us enthusiasts, and make in small batches, what I would consider small batches. When you hear of distillers, you tend to hear it quite a bit in America with bourbons, small batch, and there's maybe 500,000-600,000 bottles of this being put out, which to me isn't really small batch. These guys are now putting out 4,000 or 5,000 bottles at a time of a batch worldwide. That to me is small batch, so I would still consider them fairly small batch distillery. But I've said it before, I'll say it again, they put out some impressive stuff. As I said, Campbelltown Distillery, owned by the Mitchell family, founded in 2004, Kilkerran, sister distillery there to Springbank. So let's get into this heavily peated batch 2, bottled at 60.9%. Yes, 60.9%. So it packs a punch, you better believe it. Non-chill filtered, no colour added. It's what we like, isn't it? It's what, well, it says what we like. You know, we do. I think personally as enthusiasts, we go searching for those stronger things, and then you can bring it down to whatever you fancy. Just, it's something that I think the longer whiskey is growing, the more and more I think we're asking for. And Kilkerran do offer it up. So let's get in. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, sherry rich, sweet, fruity monster of a thing. This is matured 55% ex-bourbon, 45% ex-sherry casks. We'll get into that again later, but for now, what you're looking at is 55% ex-sherry, 55% ex-bourbon, 45% ex-sherry. The sherry really does have its play in here. Any smokiness from the peated malt is quite well hidden on the nose initially. If it is there, it only adds to the sweetness of this, but not to the point where it becomes saccharine or sickeningly sweet. It just makes for a really nice sweet balance in it, the peat, I believe. It's quite autumnal. What I mean by that, well, just the smells of the autumn, isn't there? The leaves dropping, etc. There's quite a bit of that going on. Red apple. And actually not just red apple, but something that I found on it, and it's a very distinct smell, candy apples. Yeah, very much so. Candy apple. The spirit doesn't fight you in the slightest. For something that's bottled at 60.9%, this spirit does not fight you. It's just works as a balance with what's going on. It's thick, it's syrupy on the nose. loads going on. There's a slight medicinal note. Now, when I'm saying about medicinal note here, because I know an awful lot of people would tend to think of peated whiskey and think of TCP or iodine, but when I'm thinking of the medicinal note here, it's more of a medicinal cream. I'm not even 100% sure what that cream, but you know the way medicinal creams all tend to have much of the same smell. It's in here. It's not off-putting. It just works with it. Yeah, it doesn't. It's certainly not off-putting, but I can't remember what the cream is. But there is a medicinal cream note in there. Into the palate we go. Big, huge, salty, briny delivery. Oh, huge. It's mouth-watering, which I like. Full of a real cinnamon kick. Now the smokiness turns up, shows up at the back. It's that I would suggest of a fresh fire. It's fresh smoke. As in, to me, it's not like a bonfire, which is this is just like a house fire smoke. It packs a wallop, it really does. But it brings loads of flavour with it. The brininess carries through. And with it, fruitcake, syrup, powdered sugar, and always playing around in the back, that smoke and brininess. Really, really good. Finish. Long for me. And always spicy. With sharp citrusy notes in there as well. Lemon and lime. Tangy yet again. Awesome stuff. For me, in my opinion, awesome stuff. Water, yes. Don't be shy with the water in this one. It, as I said, the spirit doesn't really fight you on the nose, but the palate is quite spirited. Not sure of age on this. You're probably looking at relatively young whiskies, so it's spirity. You can feel that Kilkerran spirit in there. 60 cask strength. You've got good, yet again, good active casks. I would suggest working hard on this, but it is quite spirity, quite sharp. Doesn't offend me though. Water I would give a while in this generally, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to tell you what I think now. What the water ramps it up for me, but it also brings out a sawdust note, very, very concentrated sawdust wood note, and slight fustiness. Yet again, not by any means off-putting. It all just works so well together. Palate becomes slightly sweeter. Strangely, for thinning, it's slightly more unctuous, more earthy. Becomes slightly meaty now, slightly floral, but still, even with thinning it, that spirit is holding it together. It's good enough. It works well. The finish remains long, but it's just not as potent as it was without the water. This, to me, does need water to calm it down a bit. But really, I don't mind, because you can extend the life of a bottle like this then. Work with a bottle of this, take your time over it, and it'll just keep on giving. This is just, to me, I keep saying to me, remember this is just my opinion, quality stuff. Yeah, you know I'm a Campbelltown fan, Springbank fan, Campbelltown, Glen Scotia. And this one doesn't let you down. It really doesn't. If you can get it. Yet again, looking at a relatively small batch release. This was batch 2 from late 2019. So if you can get it, I would highly recommend picking up a bottle. You're looking at UK price £55 to £65 roughly, but very, very worth it in my opinion. So why do we not do this? Yes, if you like this, then try this. Now, what do you think of that? I actually don't have a bottle to show you. In the if you like this, if you like this, then try this. But I'm not gonna. I thought about trying to compare this with something else. But what I would suggest is, remember, if you like this, then try. And I'm going to suggest you try and get your hands on either batch 1 or batch 3. Batch 1's maturation was the same as this, the 55% bourbon, 45% sherry. But the batch 3 then went 80% bourbon, 20% sherry. So you're going to be looking at a different beast again. There's slightly different ABVs on both of them. So, you know, if you like this, there's enough difference. And this is yet again something that I love about small batch distilling, small batch production. If you like this, there's enough difference in the other batches to find something different. You're not going to buy you're not just buying a replacement by buying the batch 1 or the batch 3. You're buying a different whiskey. Really. Same producer. With regards to the batch 1, same maturation, same spirit, slightly different ABV, but I could almost guarantee you're going to get a different experience. So if you like this, try something like this, and I'll put that away. Yeah, it's Kilkerran, isn't it? And small batch, as I say, small batch distillers really work hard to get these close feelings. But I mean, to me it's no bad thing. It gives you choice, it gives you opportunity, it gives you something. If you wish, if you're that way inclined, it gives you something to chase, because you know you're going to have a different, as I said, experience every time. So there you go. The first of a new series, Oh For the Love of Peat, and one that I am looking forward to simply as a bit of a peat fan. Peated whiskey, said, can divide, but there's good and bad to come out of it, really. Anyway, I'll leave it. I'm starting to go on a bit now. And just thank you very, very much for being here once again, as always. And thank you, as always, to my patrons. If you wish to join that group, the details are, as always, below. There you have it. Till the next time, my friends, here's to your good health. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.